I was free of the shake. I didn't have any trouble with it during my acting years. Now I would think twice about taking an acting job because it's quite distracting. It started for me, I suppose, around my middle 60s. At the beginning, I was in denial, really, and I sort of, what's the matter with me today? All that. But gradually, I realized it was a condition. And then finally, in my case, I went off to see someone who was a specialist, and he diagnosed the essential tremor. And he proclaimed it more or less incurable. So I am, of course, curious to see if that proves to be true or if this new treatment works. I'm a writer, and of course that means, in my case, I have to type because one of the losses is handwriting. That is now impossible for me. I'm reasonably social, but I think I'm less social now, and that's in the past. But if the treatment works, then I hope I'll be a good advertisement for it. I went into hospital in the morning to be prepared.
Very nice to see you.
Julian's come to St Mary's Hospital, to the MR-guided focus ultrasound suite. We're going to treat the tremor in his right arm, and we're going to do that by firing ultrasound beams into an area of the brain on the left side of the brain called the thalamus to relieve the tremor in the right arm.
I sat around and they ran various tests on this and that. You feel as if you're going in for an operation, and the preparations are quite similar to going in for an operation, but you're not actually going to be cut open. They need you conscious during the whole thing. They need you to answer questions. It does mean that you have to feel a certain amount of pain, but it doesn't last for very long. Because what they're doing is putting a sort of metal crown onto your skull, and then they fix the metal crown to the table.
It has been a proven technology now over 3 decades and helps patients better control of their movements. So it is quite a technological advance. I can't think of any other procedure so delicately done in the brain so safely, because you have this absolute reassurance of checking what you're doing as you go along. And it's now without question that in its efficacy, it matches the gold standard of either surgical lesioning or deep brain stimulation.
It was clear that my hand was shaking much less. I could perceive it at once. So that was actually quite interesting.
We've treated the peripheral part of the tremor really well, and now we're going to try and treat the more proximal part that involves the shoulder, and that involves us having to go to a slightly different location. Very close, it's 3 millimeter difference, and then we're going to do another one of the stun treatments to make sure there are no side effects, and then we'll do a permanent lesion there as well.
Let's have a look at your hand. Just hold that hand there. So.
He's finished the procedure. There's been no adverse effects. We've been monitoring that throughout the procedure. And also the tremor has been greatly reduced. Very good.
It's quite strange, actually. Because I hadn't trusted myself to do that for some time. To me, to look at them side by side, one is back to normal and the other is still shaking. I am, at the moment, working on the notional 4th series of The Gilded Age. I think I'll give myself a day off after today. I've had the treatment and I've, in a sense, cured the tremor in my right hand. And I want people to know that. I think this is the central question of essential tremor. Why do so few people know about it, including me, before I had it? I hope that I can be of some small use in getting it known. When I lost the tremor in my right hand. And once I'd got the pleasure of being able to write again, which I now can, that was a big step for me. I think if I was talking to someone who was considering having the treatment, I would say to them really that for me, my life is much more normal again because it worked. For me at least, this was worth it and I haven't regretted it for 1 second.